Hello, hello. Welcome to our January, whatever today is, January 10th, end of semester concert. I'm Mr. McMahon, if we haven't met, hello. Behind me, you see, I'm not sure on this, but it may be the first Jazz 3 that Brookings has had. At least in recent memory. It's the first time we've had 3 jazz bands that I know of. So can we just take a moment to celebrate that? If you've been a long-time attender of this concert, you might know that it's typically, in the past, it has been done at Bell Auditorium, but we have this beautiful space, so why not use it? Tonight we'll have 3 jazz bands performing, 1 tune for Jazz 3, 1 tune for Jazz 2, 2 tunes for Jazz 3, or Jazz 1, I'm sorry, and then second half we'll have a little stage changeover, and then our concert band, our combined concert band will play at the end. I'll talk more about that as we get there. For now, what you need to know is that Jazz 3 is ready to go. And backstage is my student teacher, who, if you haven't had the pleasure of meeting him yet, I would implore you to take a moment and introduce yourself to him. He's just been phenomenal. And I can't speak highly enough of him because I don't know another college student. I haven't worked with too many student teachers yet. He's my first, but he also has struck me with how he's just so good at making connections with students and building relationships, and I've been nothing but impressed with him from day one. So, without further ado, please help me welcome Jazz 3, led by Mr. Gage Gold. He's a little bit taller than I am. Yes, hello, I'm Mr. Gage Goldman. I do have the pleasure of being in charge of the Jazz 3 today. This is a phenomenal group of students, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys are new to jazz this year, right? Or new to high school jazz at least, which has been quite a journey to get through. I'll be honest, and I'm pretty sure they would be honest too. Our first rehearsal was kind of a struggle. But they have surprised me every single day of rehearsal. They come ready to learn and to jazz, and they deal with my weird quirkiness, and they're awesome and they sound great. So they all do, apparently. So yeah, we are about to play Flight of the Foo Birds, and it is featuring soloist Gavin Bachman. We're gonna have a few short, well, hopefully short transitions tonight. Yeah, as Jazz 3 makes their way off and Jazz 2 comes on stage, I just want to say about the jazz bands. I was pretty blown away. Last year I had to recruit a couple people just to fill the second jazz band, and I think even then we had one or two spots that could have been filled. Tons of trumpets last year, but I think we were missing a trombone. We had enough people to have 3 full jazz bands initially, and I'm just blown away by that. And at first I didn't think that it would be possible schedule-wise. We meet every day after school. Jazz 1 meets Mondays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 5, and Jazz 2 and 3 meet Tuesdays and Fridays from 3:30 to 5. And the only reason we're able to do that is because of I have a student teacher this semester, Mr. Ruhlman, and I have one next semester, and it's worked out perfectly. I'm hoping that it can become a permanent fixture. If we have enough student interest, man, I don't feel like I can turn them away. So I'm excited for them, and I hope to see you back here for later performances, especially like Flood of Jazz, to see how much that group grows between now and then. I think we're set. So I'll keep talking about the jazz season after Jazz 2. Our song, the one piece that we're going to play for you tonight, even though they have another one that's almost ready, is Song of Orpheus, I believe, by Mike Dana. It's kind of a contemporary fusion, straight 8th notes, more modern jazz tune for you, featuring 3 soloists. First, Alex Dearson on trumpet. Ty Kistner on tenor sax. And ending with Audrey Foster back there on trumpet as well. And you might recognize a familiar face in the trombone section. He didn't make it to alumni pep band the other night, so this is my way of getting him to make it up to me. Luke Bielfeld's filling in for Alice Warney. She had surgery, like kind of emergently last week, so she's unable to play tonight. So Luke is gracious enough to fill in tonight since he's in town, and if you know him, he's a great trombone player, so we're happy to have him. Okay, that's enough talking. Here is Song of Orpheus. mention that Anika Brozo and Isaiah both had a little soli there at the beginning that featured them nicely. So give them a hand as well. Awesome, yeah, Jazz 1, come on up. It'll just be a minute here while they get transitioned. As they make their way up here, yeah, the last couple thoughts about the jazz season. These are early days for the jazz season. Our competition season ramps up. We have our first one, I think it's February 7th or something like that, early February. We go to Mitchell. It's non-competitive. It's more of a clinic. We get to go play for some world-class clinicians, and they get time with each of the jazz bands to listen, give feedback, and just grow. So by the next competition in March, or late February this year, at Augustana, we are more solid than ever, hopefully. So we have that at the end of February, and then I think early April is the Optimist Jazz Festival on the stage in Brookings, or I guess, both stages. But yeah, so we've been rehearsing for about a month now, and I don't know if you realize how big of a deal it is to lose almost a full week of school right before break. We already, with marching band season, the way it wraps up in early November, we get about a month of rehearsal, and so to lose 2 or 3 of them before pretty much right before the concert, it's tough. So I'm really proud of the work that these students have done. You see behind me, Jazz 1. We're going to tune, and we have 2 tunes for you tonight. We have Switch in Time, which is a Sammy Nestico tune played by the Count Basie Band, if you're familiar with them. Actually, they played in town a couple months ago, back in October. But yes, standard swing tune called Switch in Time, a little up-tempo, and it features Garner Soka on trombone. And then the second tune, I'll talk about a little bit more, but it's a funk tune by Bob Minster, saxophonist, super cool tune, and the jazz set with. So here's Jazz 1 with Switch in Time. Yeah, standard swing tune. We love that one. Sammy Nestico, Switching Time. Oh, it also had a little short piano solo there over there. If you can't see me, yeah, he's back there. That's Stefan Brosel back there. Give him a hand. Our last jazz tune for the set is Bob Mintzer's Groove Master. I heard this tune sometime last year, and I wanted to do it last year. I'm like, I'll wait. And I'm pretty glad that I'm doing it this year. And I don't know, you guys like it? I love it. I heard it and I was like, yep, we're gonna do that some year, and this is the one. So this tune will feature, let's see, Luke Kennedy on tenor sax, and Aiden Shepard on guitar. We hope you've enjoyed the jazz set. After this tune, there will be a probably 5-10 minute stage change. If you need to use the bathroom or something like that, that's your time. Get up and move around for a moment, and then join us for the second half, which will be concert band. Here is Bob Mintzer's Groove Master. We'll see you after the break. Stage change, and yeah, they haven't played for 30 minutes, so let's get them warmed up. This is the second half. We have 3 pieces for you. The first of which is an electroacoustic piece, which I'll let Mr. Ruhlman talk about in a moment. But yeah, help me welcome one last time to the stage tonight, Mr. Ruhlman. First is Paper Cut by Alex Shapiro. This is a really cool piece. As Mr. McMahon said, it's electroacoustic, so it has electronic track that's playing at the same time, and I have some earbuds, and it was a headache to figure out, but luckily we know some really cool people. Alex Shapiro, in her notes, she said that she wanted to write a song that was cool for today's youth, which sounds exactly like somebody who would say that, very old. It's supposed to be reminiscent of movies and video games and stuff like that. Something else that she talks about is environmentalism and recycling and making sure that we're not wasting paper. So that was something that we talked about when I first introduced this piece, is how much paper we waste every single day, every single year, and things that we can do to prevent that. So I encourage the students to bring old homework or tests that you didn't want your parents to see, and bring it and rip it up for rehearsal. And of course, Mr. McMahon produces an absurd amount of paper. So we just have a ton of recycled paper all the time ready to use for this. So it's been a really great piece to work on, and we've had all of that, and it's been really great. So here is Paper Cut. Spoiler alert. behind me, you'll see the students shuffling around. We rotate parts. I have a philosophy that I believe every person in band should play not all people just get to play trumpet one all the time, or clarinet one, or whatever. It's educationally valuable to play all the parts. And so when you play a different part, it's helpful to sit in different spots in the band, so that's why you'll see them transitioning. That piece that they just did, Paper Cut, is easily the hardest piece tonight to conduct. And me, with Mr. Roland being my first student teacher, I was like, yeah, you can do that piece. And then as we got closer, I'm like, oh, this is going to be hard. And then we got to the technology about 3 days ago, and I was like, oh, this is going to be really hard. So I just want to give a huge shout out. I don't know if I doubt he's here, he's probably got a million things to do, but Dr. Wallace helped me out with what kind of audio interface and some of the details with that. But then also Alan Cook kind of saved my butt on this, getting the tracks to line up. So can we just give him a hand, please, Alan Cook? If you didn't know it, he helped with sound and props throughout the marching band season, so this isn't the first time he's saved my butt, but definitely very appreciative of his help. And also, while we're on the thank yous, can we give it up for the Oscar Larson Performing Arts Center staff that's helped us out tonight? I asked for a lot of things. I was like, we need to do a sound check before with technology and sound, but we also need to switch really quickly for jazz band and then back right after, and they were nothing but accommodating, so yeah, I can't thank them enough. And I know Kylie Kramer's the administrator here tonight, but I just want to give a shout out to the BHS administration and just the Brookings administration in general for being so supportive of the arts. So let's give them a round of applause. We have 2 pieces left tonight. The next one is one of my favorite pieces of all time. If you are familiar with it, maybe it's meaningful to you too. It's originally a choral piece. Salvation is Created. It was written by Pavel Chesnikov in Soviet Russia. And so, if you know me, I love to do lesson plans that don't just have to do with learning music and making great music, but having to do with things that are bigger than us. And so the topic that I was trying to get across, and the snow days came and messed it up, but the topic that I was really trying to get across on this is empathy. So we started with a lesson about dyslexia, and so I had them experience it first, and they were on a time crunch, and it was a competition to see who could read this thing that was all jumbled up the fastest and decode it. And they were really into it, they got it done really fast, and we went around the room, and then I said, they didn't know why we were doing it, and I said, imagine doing this every day in a classroom when you're called on at random to read in front of your peers. They reacted the same way you just did. It got dead silent, and it became real. So, Salvation is Created was a religious piece about the birth of Jesus, and Pavel Chesnikov wrote religious music in Soviet Russia. Talk about oppression. So the goal of this piece is to empathize with the composer writing this beautiful music that he never got to see performed, and especially performed in the place it was meant to be, which is a big, glorious cathedral. Okay, I've talked enough about it, but this piece is so meaningful to me for lots and lots of reasons that, I can't even go into right now. But, Salvation is Created. We'll let the music speak for itself. that piece is, it gets me every time. I have one more thing to talk about, a couple things, a couple housekeeping things. Just coming up with our rest of our year. We, if you don't know, are in two separate sections. There's a marching band section right now of 120 and a concert band section of about 30. Really, without color guard, we're at about 110 with the marching band. So putting them together for the first time tonight on the stage, which is why thank you for being flexible with the sound check this evening. It's really helpful to get a lay of the land as a full group, and many of them are sitting in very different places in the ensemble, so thank you for that. But yeah, going forward, we're splitting into two different ability-based and age-based ensembles. Symphonic band's the top group, but mostly upperclassmen. And the second group is concert band, mostly underclassmen. That's what we'll be in for the rest of the year, with a couple concerts, throughout, which hopefully you've heard about. You might notice that if your parents of a percussionist, I just want to say that I'm sorry that your student probably isn't playing more than one piece tonight, and it's because we have like 25 percussionists and only about 4 to 5 parts per piece. And so we're doubling someone, we're trying to get as many involved as possible. Again, this notice kind of threw a wrench into things. We had 2 pieces for them, percussion ensemble, that were going to be featured tonight, but unfortunately with the lost rehearsal time, they weren't able, they had to join the concert band to make sure we were ready for tonight with the pieces that we're doing. So if you follow percussionists, you'll see them play those pieces later in the year. Trust me, it's coming. And they spent a good deal, about half of our rehearsal time in this concert getting ready for that. So that's coming, and I apologize if you only saw your student play one piece tonight, but unfortunately that's the reality of things. So we're trying to do our best. Last thing is on Friday, there is an all-state audition, and so if you know someone that's auditioning for all-state band, we wish them the best of luck. That's held in, March, I believe, in Sioux Falls, so we'll let you know who of our students that try out make it. I think we have 20 auditioning, so that's pretty exciting. Okay, our last piece, they're ready for me. The last piece that we're playing is Michael Markowski's Cave Theater. Michael Markowski, he's not a super old composer. By the way, Alex Shapiro is not old. I don't know if Mr. Ruhlin made her sound old, but she's not very old. She's pretty hip. And the fact that I said hip just makes me not hip. So we're gonna play, the last piece is by another, not up and coming, but another younger composer, Michael Markowski. He just writes awesome music, and we'll probably do another piece of his later this year. So this is the Cave Theater. Really quick backstory. This piece I never got to share with you guys. I asked them, what do you think this piece is about based on listening? Very cinematic, very movie-like. And they came up with their ideas, and really what it's about, I should just read it, he wrote it very eloquently, is, I think this was before the pandemic, but he found that in his life he was getting Michael Markowski was getting very into a rut. And he didn't go out of his way to find adventure or new friends or something new and exciting to do in his life. And he was like, how devastating that I'm living this life of routine rather than seeing all the amazing things that we can get out there and do. And so the Cave You Fear is about that and overcoming those obstacles. I was going to make it about a lot more than that, but again, shoulda, coulda, woulda with the weather. So, but it's a great piece. We got a lot of music making out of it. So enjoy the Cave You Fear by Michael Markowski. And thank you all so much for being here tonight. We really appreciate it.